Hey, what's going on? This is Super Simple Fixes. Today we're going to be changing out a sprinkler controller. The first thing we're going to do, we want to make sure that you want to unplug the sprinkler controller. Make sure that there's no power going to it. So we've already done that. And the second step is we're going to remove the cover. Now we see a bunch of wires. The black wire is for power. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the two wires that are connected to the actual plug. Once you loosen the screw, you should be able to pull each wire out. This one's out, and that one's out. That one's disconnected. This one is for the rain sensor, so I'm going to go ahead and do that next. And that one's out. These are your zone connections. We have them all numbered. It would be good if you had yours numbered as well, so we know where they're all going to go once they're out. Once we put in the new system. That's one. Two. Three. This one has two connected to it. A couple more. All right, and this is common. One neutral. And that is now all completely disconnected from the wires. Now that we have all the wires out, we're going to go ahead and pull out the console itself. This screw right here, at least for this one, just seems to be held in by one. Yours might be a little bit different, but just see what screws are holding the system in. There we go, that's one. Let's see how this thing comes out. Okay, so these wires come from this piping here. Sensor wire has moved out of the way. You may have to loosen up the PVC here if something is holding up your PVC. We kind of took this retaining clip out, loosened it up so this can move. Unclip from the back, pull it up through there, and this was the piece that was holding it in right here. So you can see that's where it was sitting. We're going to put in this new smart sprinkler controller. Here's the sensor wire, here are the other zone wires. I'm going to pop this top off. Then it's got another cover right here, at least for this one. Yours might be a little bit different, but we just want to open it up so that we can put it on there. It looks like it has a very similar type situation in the back, where I'm just going to hang it off of that one screw. But we're also going to anchor it by drilling some extra holes, since it comes with some extra settings right here. Just marking it so that we know where to drill. And there we go. That's what we're looking at right now. Just making sure it's level. And now that it's level, we're just going to go ahead and drill a couple holes with the hammer drill. We have that concrete anchor that we put in here after we drilled it, and we're going to tighten that up. This side right here, we're deciding that we're not going to do it because we already have one right in the middle of the back here, and we got one right over here. It's not going anywhere. I mean, you can if you want to. That's up to you. We leveled it out. We've got two screws hanging on. It's fine. Okay, let's wire this thing up. So right now we have this little wire here that is connected to S1 and S2. That's for the sensor. So the sensor wire is over here. We just brought it just dropped it around the back and brought it around to the right side. So this particular one, all you got to do is I'm going to push, and then I'm able to pull this wire out. So there we go. You just push one, these little white levers, and then you're able to pull the wire out, placeholder wire. So this one, doesn't matter where it goes, doesn't matter which one goes into S1 or S2. I'll push this little lever up. Oops. Push the lever up, that'll let me put the wire in there. And here's the second one. It kind of clamped down on the wire, so this one's done. Here's common. There's two places where you can put it. It's here, and there's another one right over here somewhere. It says C. Alright, so we couldn't get both wires into one receptacle, so we're going to try to pull it over to the other one. Yeah, a bit of a stretch, but we made it. So right now we're putting the zone wires back into the associated zones. All these little receptacles have numbers on them. We already numbered the wires so we know what zone goes where. So that's why it makes sense to have little numbers on these things. So if you don't have numbers on them, it makes this job a lot harder. The screwdriver makes the pressing of that little white button a little bit easier. Push up against it and push the wire up into it, and that's it. Clamps on. Okay, so now we're plugging it in, and this one and there we go. It is now installed, but it won't function unless you have the app for this particular one. We're not going to go through the app on this one. This is just like the hardware on how to set this thing up. So this one is pretty much done hardware wise. But obviously we got to go through the app to finish it up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it down below.